Donald Trump held a town hall in North Carolina tonight with Republican Congresswoman and Trump stooge Anna Paulina Luna, and it went exactly as you would expect for an event in which Donald Trump has to, 1, open his mouth, and 2, answer questions. And if you predicted it went poorly, you are spot on, because Donald Trump absolutely lost it, as he always does in any occasion in which he has to talk. But not just that, he demonstrated his complete cognitive failure and cognitive collapse to his entire tiny MAGA town hall crowd, because when Donald Trump was asked a simple question by one of the members of that crowd, he completely lost his mind, completely spiraled on this weird and unhinged rant, as he always does in any event, like I said. But this was especially bad because it just shocked and showed MAGA how much Donald Trump is losing it. And we are going to get into all of that. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really goes a long way in supporting the community and movement we are building on this channel. Now let's get into this first clip that absolutely makes my blood boil from this rally.
Question that I asked, should we change the name from Fort Liberty back to Fort Bragg? First question. Right? So here's what we do. We get elected. I'm doing it. And we're leading in all the polls. We should get elected. But remember this, they cheat like hell. We got too big to rig. We need too big.
Of course, the traitor is supporting other traitors. Of course, the guy who attacked our democracy on January 6th, and many times before that, and many times after, is supporting the Confederates who attacked our union. That should be no surprise that Donald Trump loves those who hate this country. He has always made that incredibly clear, and he did again tonight. And also, adding the Democrats cheat like hell comment is so gross following his praise of Confederates. He is just the least patriotic person in this country. Republicans want to wave flags, of course, with Trump's face on them, which is desecrating the flag, but they want to wave those flags and pretend like they're patriots. But guess what? You're not a patriot, Donald. You praise Putin, you praise dictators, and you hate our country. And not only did he praise Putin, but he praised Viktor Orban tonight in a really weird diatribe that we're going to check out.
And, you know, Viktor Orban, he's, you know, the fake news, a lot of fake news back there, by the way. But the fake news, you know, they call him a strong man. He's the head of Hungary. And we have, and he's, you know, very strong guy, very tough guy. But, I mean, more than anything else, a very smart guy. And they said, why is the world blowing up? You have the Middle East is blowing up. You have Russia, Ukraine. That could lead to catastrophe. You talk about nuclear weapons. That could be a total catastrophe. Why is it? He said, if you put Trump back in the White House, it's all going to end. You're going to have peace. You know, we had 4 years. We didn't have any wars. We didn't have any terrorism. We didn't have anything. And I won't tell you exactly what he said. Maybe I will. He said because they were afraid of Trump. I don't want to be the one saying that, but they were probably afraid of me because they couldn't. They think I was crazy, and that's a good thing to think, right, soldier? That's a good. They said this guy is crazy, but no.
No, Donald, I don't think it's a good thing that you are a joke and made America look like a joke on the world stage because you are so deranged, because you are so out of your mind, because world leaders were constantly terrified of what crazy thing you could do to not only attack our country domestically, but endanger the world with your crazed foreign policy ideas. Also, remember when Donald Trump wanted to nuke a hurricane? Why aren't we talking about that? Why aren't we bringing that up more? This guy is completely deranged, and you can see that in the fear-mongering he did tonight, directed at not only immigrants, but lying, saying that they are the reason why President Biden hasn't responded with hurricane relief, which is a lie. But let's check out this clip so we can call it out.
Some of them are murderers. Some of them are drug dealers. Some of them, many of them, 13,099 murderers came into our country during their 3.5, and we're missing $1 billion they gave them to the migrants that came in, and now we don't have the money. We'll do it, but they don't have the money to take care of. That's why they're giving you lousy treatment in North Carolina.
Just a gross lie from Donald Trump. And someone who did such a perfect job calling out that lie was Jessica Tarlov, and I want to check that out.
Relief. Marco Rubio didn't like something, so he said that it was fake. And the reality is, and I mentioned this yesterday on the 5, that every accusation is a confession from the Republicans. You know, the only president who actually did take funds that were supposed to go to disaster relief and move them to dealing with the border, that was Donald Trump. He took $155 million out of the FEMA budget to do that. That should have gone to hurricane relief.
A couple of things.
Jessica is spot on. President Biden hasn't failed to respond to this crisis, but Donald Trump failed to respond to crises, and he did take money from FEMA. Every Republican accusation is an admission of the truth about them, just like Jessica says. And we see more deranged Donald Trump when he was asked a question about his mass deportation plan. And this is when he really starts to lose it. And you can kind of see how shocked everyone is by just how out of touch he is. But let's check that out.
To every illegal. Enough is enough. We must put Americans first. How soon will you start deporting the murderers?
So let me just tell you that you're right about that. It's 13,099 to be exact, and murderers. Many of these people murdered more than one person. One did 7. These are not people we want in our country. So this was, I guess, released by somebody that loves us, maybe in Border Patrol. We don't know exactly where the numbers, but these are certified numbers. And you had 16,000 drug traffickers. You had numbers that nobody's ever seen, 645,000 criminals overall. They're in our country. Nobody has any idea. They're from places unknown. Nobody knows who they are, what they are, but we know that we have over 600,000 people released into our country, along with the ones that you were talking about, the 21,000. But of them, 13,000, more than 13,000 are murderers.
First of all, as always, Donald Trump didn't answer the question because he is just completely unable to. The reason he likes to talk about immigration isn't because he has some policy idea that he thinks will actually solve an issue in this country. It's because he likes to rant and ramble, as we saw right there, completely losing his mind. And it's because he knows when he talks about immigration, the mainstream media won't push back and ask him actual questions about his mass deportation plan that is not only unethical, not only is it gross, but it would be devastating to our economy. But they don't ask questions about that because when they do, Donald Trump gives rambling answers like that. But the ICE data that he cited is a complete lie, completely misrepresented. And Jessica Tarlov, once again, we love Jessica, did such a great job shutting it down. So let's check that out.
To the extent, to speak to its inaccuracy, the Department of Homeland Security had to release a statement saying that the ICE figures were being completely misinterpreted, saying the data includes individuals who entered the country over the past 40 years and also includes people that are in jail, not people who are out there roaming the streets. And that's obviously a key piece of information in this puzzle. And the American public is smart enough to know that the narrative that Donald Trump is putting forward does not accurately represent what's going on. It doesn't mean there aren't problems, but it does mean that they want more nuance than they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs, get them out.
Now, Donald Trump's complete implosion on stage was not the only shocking moment from this town hall tonight. In what was one of the stranger things I've ever seen at a Trump rally, a Vietnam veteran decided to come up on stage and present Donald Trump with a gift. And I want to check out this clip because while it is this veteran's decision to do whatever he would like with the gift that he presented Donald Trump, it really bothered me, and you will see after we check out this clip.
For those of you who may not know, Dwight had given President Trump his Purple Heart.
That's right. That's right.
I couldn't think anybody more deserving of the Purple Heart.
Thank you very much.
You took it, you laid down there, you got back up, and the first words out of your mouth was fight, fight, fight. You didn't even have anything to shoot back at it.
Now, I want to start by saying that veteran, he served our country, he earned that Purple Heart, and he can do whatever he pleases with it. All respect to him. Thank him for his service. But it drives me crazy that Captain Bone Spurs gets a Purple Heart. The guy who said sleeping around in the 80s was his Vietnam gets a Purple Heart. I couldn't, it drives me crazy. These people are in a cult that they think this guy has served our country instead of just stealing from it, which is the actual truth. It is a slap in the face to the men and women who have served our country, lost their lives, who Donald Trump called suckers and losers. Again, it is his decision to do what he wants with his Purple Heart, but are we serious here? Donald Trump is the one you want to give it to? That guy who has always attacked our country, who is the least patriotic person in this country, who attacks our elections? It's a joke. And especially after he said this right here.
We had a terrible election. We're not going to let that happen again. We can't ever let that happen again. We're not going to have what a shame that was. But we had an election, and these...
I just can't. I'm still so blown away by that. But you can watch this man, watch him melt down, watch him attack our country every day, and want to give him a Purple Heart. It is crazy to me, but we have to call it that crazy every single day on this show. And if you want to support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button. You can leave a like on this video. And if you stuck around to the end, drop a blue heart in the comments. And until next time, I'll see you soon.